Hey everybody, my name is Chris Lewellen, and I am the Tippah County Development Foundation Director. I'm a lifelong resident of Tippah County, and I'm happy to call Tippah County my home. We at the Development Foundation know that we must ensure that Tippah County offers a wide variety of ways for our citizens to make a good living and have a great quality of life here. We know that we must move Tippah County forward into a future that causes our high school graduates to want to make Tippah County their home and to know that they can have a good life here. We believe that the only way for Tippah County to move forward is for us to move forward together. It will take all of us to ensure that our children and our children's children have a great place to call home in Tippah County. In this series of interviews, released weekly this fall of 2024, you'll hear from some incredible people living in Tippah County. Some of these folks never left home, some left for a while and came back, and some moved here as adults. We wanted to let you hear their reasons for choosing Tippah County as their home and their hopes for the future of Tippah County. The interviewer is Mr. Austin Hamilton, a lifetime citizen of Tippah County. Austin currently serves as the career coach for Ripley High School and served last year as the Walnut High School career coach. We thought he would be the perfect person to talk to our group about their hopes and dreams for their hometown. If you enjoyed this interview, please check back weekly to listen to each new interview and share them with a friend. Let's move forward together and make Tippah County the best that it can be.
Hey, I'm Austin Hamilton, and I am the career coach at Ripley High School with Accelerate Mississippi and Three Rivers Planning and Development District. I'm on the football field at Walnut High School, where I was a career coach for 2 years, and I'm glad to be joined today by none other than John Meeks. Hi. Coach Meeks, if you don't know, I just want to throw this out there from the very beginning, is the third winningest coach in Tippah County history. Now, he'll never say that. He'll never say that, but I wanted to say that from the very beginning. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Coach Meeks.
Obviously, my name is John Meeks. I am a lifelong Tippah County resident. Born in Memphis, but
I didn't even know that.
Lived here since I was 1 year old.
Okay.
And all my family is from this area. Married for 19 years, maybe.
She's a nurse practitioner.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, she's a nurse.
Okay.
Jessica, and I have 4 kids. Jayla, 18. Josie, 16. Jackson, 11, and Jace, 6.
Okay. So and your oldest just recently graduated this last year.
Yes,
correct?
yes.
She graduated from Walnut, correct?
Yeah, she graduated from Walnut, salutatorian. She's a freshman at Northeast.
Awesome. Hey, well, with that being said, we're doing these videos for the Tippah County Development Foundation, but trying to hone in on, I guess you could say, creating a different narrative about Tippah County, because there's this idea of small towns.
Yes, sir.
And those who didn't move off from the small town just couldn't make it or never got over that 4th and 1.
Yes, sir.
So they just hung around in a small town. They have nothing going for them. So we have 3 different categories, and I won't share all 3 because we've already shared all 3 in previous videos. But Coach Meeks, because obviously you went to Ole Miss, so
yes.
You grew up here, you moved, or obviously went to Ole Miss
yes.
for 4 years, and if you don't know, he's the all-time leading rusher for Ole Miss in spring games. Him and Deuce McAllister
yes.
shared reps together.
Yeah, so I mean, they did not want the guys that were actually going to see the field to get hurt. So to train the new linemen and get everybody right, you have that guinea pig that they put back there to. That's, you know,
a guinea pig is a good way to put it.
Yeah,
I think.
yes. A lot of experiments done on me as far as, you know, getting hit and CTE and whatnot.
Yeah. So anyway, so he obviously was there 4 years and then moved back to Walnut to be coach, correct?
Yes, sir.
Now you started as assistant, correct?
Started as assistant. Once I realized that the NFL wasn't an option, I and that's a joke for those that don't
Well,
know
we
that
don't
sarcasm. Once I realized that, I always wanted to do something with sports, and I like to teach. I did have to overcome my fear of public speaking, which I hated to do and still hate to do.
And now you're killing it, see?
But yes, love being in a classroom, and love being on the field, court, wherever, and just
Now, with that being said, all of your coaching career has been at Walnut.
Yes, sir.
Correct?
Yes,
how many years this year for you? 21?
This is 23.
23. I thought it was 21. So how many years were you assistant as compared to head coach?
10 years as an assistant in football, and then the last 13 head football, and then around 3 or 4 years into that, I became head baseball coach for a while.
So tell us, I mean, what are some things that you would highlight about Tippah County? Maybe cost of living, or just the feel of Tippah County, if you would say.
Well, I think this is one of the friendliest places in the world. Sure. I mean, you go down the road, random people wave. I mean, and just the hospitality of the place. And I think the land, the terrain, everything around here is beautiful,
to say the least. But particularly, what do you think about? I mean, because you were raised here.
Yes, sir.
Now, is your wife from here, correct?
Yes, so she's from here.
That's what I thought so too. So you've got one older child. Well, they're older, all of them. But you've had one that's graduated. You've got some still in high school, some still middle school, and then even maybe in elementary. Is that correct?
I got a first grader.
Yeah, so I thought you had a.
That's why I'm out here for another 23 years.
Person moved to Ole Miss 4 years ago to get a degree. Now they're looking at getting a job and looking at, they're about to get married and Lord willing want to have kids. What would you say to them about why you think they should come back to Tippah County and raise a family here?
Well, I think this is a place you can thrive, and like I said, I mean, there's so many positives. You look at the safety, and of the area, the school system. Any school in this county, you're going to get an exceptional, superb quality education.
See, and I'm glad you said that, because I went to Ripley. And obviously, it's crazy how little Tippah County is, but how big it can be. Yes. And so obviously I was down here 2 years ago, and I knew you just because somebody asked me, like, do you know anybody at Walnut? I said, I know the Coach Meeks guy. He's just been there a long time.
Yes.
But I've said to multiple people, when they ask me, a year in, 2 years in, 6 months in, when I was at Walnut, what do you think? And I said, honestly, if I lived at Walnut, I would be happy to send my kids to Walnut School. I think it's a phenomenal school. I think Ripley's a phenomenal school. But I think Walnut has a tremendous administration. I think they have a passionate teachers. I say this all the time, that teachers in Walnut fit into 3 categories. Either they graduated from here.
Yes, sir.
Or they had a parent that taught here at one time.
Yes, sir.
Or they've taught here for at least 10 years. And you fit all 3, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes,
Am I correct on that?
Yes, sir.
So the teachers here at Walnut, I'm telling you, are invested. They love Walnut. They love the kids of Walnut. They see themselves. So I'm glad you said anything.
There's so many job opportunities in this area.
Sure.
And take, for example, what you're doing as a career coach and trying to guide these young minds into doing something that's going to benefit them financially and what they do for the rest of their life. And in this area, there is so much of a significant demand for trade type jobs.
Absolutely.
And we've gotten away from that, and you can tell, because if you want to find a plumber around here, or somebody to do a small construction job,
Shorty can only be at so many places a day.
or an electrician, I mean, that's tough.
Oh, I know. Exactly.
And that is, there's so many high-paying jobs where you can be your own boss.
Absolutely.
And call your own shots and make tons of money. Yes, sir.
The taxes are not bad
I believe
either.
the kids that we are raising and teaching in all the schools in Tippah County have such great character.
Sure.
We're teaching them to be responsible kids. They're going to turn into responsible adults.
Absolutely.
And like I said, I have a particular affinity for athletes.
Sure.
And a lot of them are having to go to school, study, take dual enrollment, and craft their skill in their sports.
Sure.
And I believe those type of things really contribute to your ability to make it in life.
Absolutely.
Because I try to tell them all the time, you know, like I said, it's not about wins or losses. It's about how you're going to handle what happens to you every day, and how you're going to treat your family and things of that nature. And you're going to have to go to your job when you don't feel good. Or I just think there's a dependability and a toughness of
all the different things that are happening, even some new industries that are coming in down the road.
We're going to catch a lot of growth from DeSoto County and the Shelby County area as everything expands. And I mean, as folks look for a better place to raise their kids, and this is what you're not going to find, a better place to raise a family and get a quality education and know your kids are going to be treated well and be able to excel in life.
I think. So what are some things that you think are just top of the list when you think about investing in kids at Walnut High School or Walnut School in general?
I mean, you look at our teachers at Walnut, which I think are absolutely wonderful.
Absolutely.
And I know it may be a little biased, but
no, I think I've been here too. I think you're right.
So many of them are from here or have been here forever. I mean, you build that reputation up, and you know what you're getting from these people, and it's going to be a quality education.
One of the things that is so admirable about Walnut School in general is, yes, the scores are great, educational level great, but I mean I don't just say this to be saying it. I think that they're not only preparing kids for the workforce, they're preparing kids for life. I mean, so what are some things that you are trying to instill, and you think other teachers are trying to instill in kids outside of just the context of the material itself for your classroom?
Being on time,
Absolutely.
punctuality. I mean, like I said, we have school, we have football practice.
Well, to me,
you should
be in
be
the career coach role. How many times I've talked to industry leaders, and they have said, we hire, like Ashley, for instance, we hire for attitude, we train for skill. We can train them to do whatever. We just need a good attitude, and those are things anybody can do. And I think that those things are happening by and large. And it created still in my spine about staying in a rural community. You said it just wouldn't have meant as much. You said you know, not having the red and black on and being a Wildcat. It doesn't matter how much they were going to pay me or how much prestige. It just wouldn't mean as much being the coach at Walnut High School.
Yes, sir.
So expound a little bit on that. Why do you say it just wouldn't mean as much?
Well, this is where I'm from. So like I said, I think most people really have a sense of pride of where they're from.
Absolutely.
And when you go to work every day and you see these kids and you know their parents and you know family histories and things of that nature, you just want to do your best. And I had great teachers growing up, and I had folks invest and pour into me, and I feel like it's my duty to give back to the community as much as I can and make sure that these kids have the best possible experience and chance at life. And we've had a lot of kids that have moved in, and we were able to, you know, sometimes not from the best circumstances, and those type of kids really tug at your heart. And you want to do your best to try to, I mean, affect a child in a positive way and give them something to believe in and fight for and create something positive.
Even listening to Coach Meeks, come back and continue the legacy that was invested in you at Walnut or Tippah County, wherever it is in Tippah County, but also to come back and let your kids be poured into by educators and teachers and professionals and coaches like John Meeks that is not scarce in Tippah County. I'll say that.
No,
I mean, I think across the schools we've said time and time again.
There's so many. It'd be wrong to try to mention names because there's so many great people at all these locations in Tippah County. I mean, this really is a wonderful place, and I wouldn't trade my experience here and in this area for anything. I mean, if I had to do it all over again, this is where I'd be.
Exactly. Well, on that note, I wanted to say at the end that, you know, He was the first 49. Now Patrick Willis was the second 49, but he was
Yes.
the reason he inspired Patrick Willis to wear the 49.
Yes, I'll have to explain that. Patrick Willis is known for his tackling ability, and he is now a Hall of Famer. I was 49. They called me, pre-Willie, and I was always known as the most tackled man in SEC history. It's 5 years of scout team drills and 5 years of, being a running back, but practicing with the defense for their benefits. Took a lot of hits, and like I said, wouldn't trade that for anything in the world either, because that helped mold me into what I am today. But yes, there is a connection between me and Patrick Willis, and one got many tackles, one got tackled many times.
Hey, with that being said, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Look for the next videos coming down the road. You guys have a great day.
Did you know that every week radio reaches 90% of all people with disposable income? That's more than any other media. The fact is, radio is the #1 most effective and cost-effective ways to reach current and potential customers. If you have a business, service, or event you want to let folks know about, put it on the radio. If you want to tell our dedicated Shark listeners about your business or event, click advertise at shark102.3.com and put it on the radio.